Humble. Take the batteries out of that toy. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix, spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru. Breathe. Oh, let me put my chakras. Evangelist, messenger of God, child of God, the Lilith, reincarnated. Here on another one. And another one. In order to keep up with me, you would have seen what I posted on my community page. And all videos leading up to this nonsense. Where are we at right now? Well, I was in like a super happy mode, like dancing through the house, picking up shit. You know, all Cinderella-ish. And then I got shot down. Bang, bang, you shot me down, go shot me down. I had to get down on it, get all these books and shit out of there. And then I got pulled into all this shit. I was like, oh, Lord. So, first things first. I was on a high point because, well, not that video. I don't know where the video went. But it's like the divine is showing them. They're making them a believer. In what, God? Or that everything I said was fucking true. In the sense of. And then I posted something extremely important. It's like, before I'm gone, my whole purpose here is to reconnect you to God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And to reinstate, balance, equality, and the understanding of the goddess, the divine feminine, and that awakening that's happening within you and all your divine feminine forms, and how they exuberate in some kind of fashion or another of myself. So in the post I said, before I leave, you will know God, his daughter Lilith, and his son Jesus Christ. I never proclaimed to be Jesus Christ. I know who. Most of you will awaken and know who you were before you got here too. You know what I mean? This isn't something that's, you just can't grasp it. Your small mind will not grasp the information that I'm giving you to show you that there has been people long before me that had awakenings and then dedicated their life to spiritual work, to the enlightenment of others. Okay? I had shown you that I myself, being, who I am, which is Lilith, God's first creation of the feminine here during these times, I showed you in not only his book, the Bible, but I show you how I have been here in all different times and spaces. And I explained the truth that you were not here to witness. I give you all truths. So the point of it is, like, they were out here telling everyone you were a lie. You were living a lie and telling people you were a lie, but everybody that'll see this will know that I'm the truth, because there were people long before that came and did just as I did. Where did Dolores Claiborne get hers? Dolores, was it Claiborne? Maybe no, it was Cannon. Dolores Cannon? Where did Carl Jung? Where did all of them? You fail to realize that this is even fucking possible. But I show you all the truth. You just deny all the truth in front of you. So it was all about, the believer situation. It's like, how many times in other places? And what really pushed it is I got on there, I posted that, but then I went over to Instagram, and it was this Lilith post. And it said, all of the Lilith worshippers under the full moon. And it was this crazy bitch with her little purse, doing this crazy little dance and shit. And I was like, I love you, witches. If you only knew that I'm really here in the flesh. I mean, seriously, though. It's like they have, just because you can't believe, bro, everybody's known. They've read and studied about me forever. Same as him. But yet you still didn't get it. And I'm here just to explain that I am nothing more than another prophet, as you call these fuckers. Congratulations to whoever said that confirmation. That's all it is, bro. But you gave it all these words. So let me explain again. I am what you call a spiritual teacher. Shaman, or healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed. Not one or the other. A starseed. That means I was created outside of the universe and placed here. An earth angel, meaning I was created outside of your reality and placed here. A mystic, meaning I'm not of this world. A medium, someone that can speak to the other worlds. A sage, same thing. A shaman and a guru are the highest level of connection to the other side of the world, but I am not that. I am the high priestess. The very definition of the card here in the form of the card. The very fucking woman in that book is here. Every fucking time they said I'd be here too. You didn't read the end. It said I was here. The two witnesses, the female, I'm here. Hello? I'm looking for the keymaster. There's another one too. There's a dude. Yeah, that dude too. And everyone bears witness to the end times. Just quit playing around. Quit playing around. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Mr. Know-It-All. Mrs. Know-It-All. Idiot know-it-alls. Who told you this? Your parents? You never read another book in your life? Just mess around. Anyway, so that came up. It's like, bro, I never tried to show. I don't have to show you. God shows you. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. That's why you don't see my face. Can't believe you. I can't believe you. Then there was all those moments, and then I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna clear up the, Mercury situation. And then I was guided to the witch. And I was like, oh, I'm being a witch. Well, I am a witch. That's what you called women with such powers. Assholes. And it started with remember your dismembered parts. I was like, oh man, I gotta pick up the broken pieces. I was like, oh, this is a great one. That's where they wanted us to go to. Always you and your broken pieces. So then when I knew we were in the witch, I did not get these. That was the last scary side of me. No, this is the next scary side of me you get to meet. Ew, it only gets worse, right? Who brought this on? The shapeshifter. That's what you're going to stare at for a while. And once I knew we were in the witch energy, I got all my witchy cards. Somebody asked me last night, how do you know? What's this intuition? How do you know? What is it? What talks to you? I just feel it, bro. I was like, I felt like it was time to go. I felt like I'm hungry. I was like, that's why I don't drink alcohol. You know what I mean? I don't like to do anything. I was like, in a certain part of my, when I go to places, especially to the casino, I'm guided to buy a drink, and I'll take a couple sips of it. There was a time where we hit a certain, life event or some kind of ritual or something. It was around, there was a lot of people, so I think it was like around the 4th of July or something. I don't really know what day it was. It was some night, and everybody else was celebrating, and they had me sit down and have a couple drinks. And I was pretty fucked up, and I drove myself home, but I showed everyone that all it does is fuck up the body's capacity to function properly. It didn't fuck with my conscious, you know what I mean, because I don't use my brain capacity, but in the sense of it can, that's what it says alcohol does. So anyways, I was explaining that I don't put shit in my body because I'm always going off of my feelers, how I feel. I don't go off of what I think. I have to listen to what I think, but I don't do what I think is right. I go off of what I feel. If I don't feel anything, then I stay still until I feel the urge to do things. So when I'm sitting down there, I'm looking at all of these possibilities, right? And I'm like, well, what did you talk about earlier? The retrogrades. So then I got this. That's all I had to work with, was the retrogrades. I was talking about that. So now let's talk about the new season, what came after the retrogrades. And then as I was sitting there, I looked at this and just grabbed for it. And I reached to the middle, and I said, well, what are we going to read then? And that's it. A witch's womb. I was like, well, what is that? And as soon as I read it, I was like, oh, fuck, shadow work. So then once I knew that, I got the witchy stuff. So then I got the Gospel of Aradia, who spread the witchhood to the oppressed, empowered them to use, you know what I mean, their understanding of the Holy Spirit to save themselves. Then I got these ones, which you're currently looking at, which is my newest ones, which is this weird dark witch. That's part of the Morgan, which was my last incarnation. This woman studied me for 20 years and came up. She's the only person, these are the first of their kind, to come up with Morgan oracles, meaning she's the closest thing to understanding me. But yet, once we dive into it, it's like, you don't understand me, or maybe I don't fully understand that part of myself. Because we haven't really, as far as the Kali, I have all compassion to my dark sides, but I don't act in any of them. And they must have seen the actions more than I, you know what I mean? And that goes to my real life, I suppose. Going back to that. So I pulled that one out, and I also got my original little magic cards. It said it had over 5,000 spells and shit when I got these. So I pulled those out. And I pulled out the actual reclaiming your witchhood. So that's how I came to this conclusion. So let's pull the cards first, then we'll read, and you'll see how all of this becomes a story. How it all aligns. And that's what it means to go with the flow. It's not to have an agenda, it's to not know. To just go with however feels right. Oh, and that happened in the car too. Oh my god. Bro, I didn't want to get out, I didn't want to go in, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just dancing and listening to music. And I'm listening to this track that is really good, and I decide, man, this is going to be on the soundtrack. Like, I'm going to have this as a background sound in between, in between shit. I'm seeing production, dude. Again, I'm a composer. That's how this works. So I'm seeing that I'm going to put this in there. This would be great into, the switch of the scenes and this and that, right? It's a cool just verse. Then I let it down. I see this whole vision of how it can play in my actual documentary in between scenes and what scenes. And then I'm like, what would I write to it? And I just let it play. And the most fucking unbelievable hook came out, bro. I was like, no way, bro. That is so jammy jam. And I'm just jamming it. And I'm singing it in my car for at least 7 to 8 times. Meaning the song keeps going. And every time I'm just singing it repetitive over and over and over. I was like, dude, this is a jam. And I was like, oh, man. Why am I holding this guy? Anyways, I was like, I don't know. I looked down and there was a guy in my hand. No, guy. Not today, guy. And I was so excited because I was like, dude, this is going to be amazing. I'm not creating an album. I'm creating a soundtrack. Get the fuck off me, dude. A soundtrack to my life. You guys say you are, but I really am. Hey! Ooh, 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 ooh. Creativity. And that's where it'd be. Like, you'd be like, you gotta sit there forever before you get... They're connected again, dude. She had like a little vial of something. I don't know if it was pixie dust or some kind of... It could have been anything. And then she had a stone on a necklace hanging too. So we're going to talk about that. I saw something like that in someone else's car in my video earlier. And we need a pure magic card. And then we'll get started. So yeah, all kinds of testimonies and stuff. And that's it. I don't wait. It just comes to me. It just comes to me. Shit just comes to me. And I'm like... not every idea is a great idea, but then once it's really a great idea, it opens up into an amazing idea. What do we got? Salamanders. Well, I can tell you that you're in the fire with it. I don't know. I don't know. We got an animal and a fucking and a this and a that and a this. Let's talk about our current energy. And we'll make all that make sense. Where are we at? I don't know. May? Nope, we're not there yet. Beltane is on May 1st, so we're right in between the bullshit. A seed choosing and a plant ritual on page 155. Ostara, the spring of equinox, 2 days of the year when the night and day, we already went through this. I didn't redo this. Let's see, supplies, cleanse, set up your altar, ground and center, cast a circle, guided meditation, plant the seed, give thanks and open the circle, blah, blah, blah. Nope, we're not doing that. Reading the symbols, egg rolling. Somebody said something about an egg yesterday. I wasn't 100% understanding what they were talking about. I was intentionally listening. Let's see, celebration of Ostara. Until Litha, the summer solstice. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find dates. And there's so much extra bullshit put in this. Here it goes. Where are we at? April 12th. A full Venetian energy. It's not only marks the final... I know it's not the 12th, but what comes before that? March 29th. That's where I went there. And that's where too. Saturday. It's a full Venetian energy. It not only marks the final day of Venus retrograde, but it also welcomes the full moon in Libra at 8:22 p.m. As Libra is ruled by Venus, this celestial event presents an opportune time to take crucial stock of lessons learned throughout the Venus retrograde period. That's what I spoke about earlier in my video, is like, what did you learn? For the past weeks, we've been examining and reevaluating our relationships, self-expression, and what holds value within our lives. Right? You're repeating it. I didn't get it till right now. Shut up. But we read it already before. Where was that? I don't know. It hidden in my brain. The full moon in Libra urges us to take harmony and fairness while addressing any imbalances that may have arisen during the retrograde phase. By acknowledging and addressing these issues, we can foster healthier connections and strengthen emotional bonds. Self-expression also comes into focus now and invites us to explore how we communicate our thoughts, feelings, and desires to others through our identity. This is an ideal time to find ways to express ourselves through authentically while maintaining diplomacy and tact in our interactions. And I feel like that was it last night, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm going to meet you, but can you meet me halfway and do some, creepo people shit too? This energy magnifies with Mercury-Neptune conjunction 5 days later on April 17th. This event heightens intuition, creative inspiration, and communication abilities. Boundaries between reality and fantasy become blurred, allowing for innovative ideas to flow effortlessly. That's perfect, dude, because I'm working on so many things. Did you see how it went from I'm going to start music to it became the soundtrack to my life? Amazing. And how I'm putting it all together. Where is it all at? I've just collected it. I'm just collecting it all right now. I'm not watching it all. I told you that's too much. And I had to take a break today because I did so much yesterday. It's like, whoa, you got to take it easy, bro. Mucho, take it easy. I can't force it, dude. I'll get a headache. I'll burn myself out. During this conjunction, you may find yourself drawn to artistic pursuits such as writing, painting, or music. See? April 17th. This Venetian energy is maximized with the start of Taurus season on April 19th. Hey, I told you I didn't know a Taurus, dude. And my new friend is a Taurus. And her fucking energy, like, I get to explore her energy in the season. Isn't that kind of cool? I didn't have one. When I go into these seasons, there's always a person that occupies that season. Again, I didn't have an Aries, and look what they brought us. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice? No, that too. The Venetian energy is maximized with the sword of Taurus season on April 19th, bringing about a time to engage in the sense of blooming natural world. April 24th, another Venus-Saturn conjunction. Ooh, that's going to push our shit. Combines energy of Venus and Saturn merging can bring about a sense of seriousness when it comes to matters of the heart or creative endeavors. It becomes serious, dude. When is this? I have this sense of, you can't have a sense of time. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You guys are like, when does things happen? In divine timing. So then, like, I woke up in the middle of the night with this sense of, or maybe it was this morning, a sense of time. I'm always traveling through time. And the time is, you've got all the time in the world. Don't worry about it. It'll get done in plenty of time, even if it's not even this year. All they said was to get it started this year. And look at how much you've already accomplished. In the sense of, I didn't even know where to start. And in a couple of weeks, I've already found, you know what I mean, I'm already starting to put the pieces together. And so this morning, I wake up with this sense of, I have all the time in the world, right? I don't have to worry about it. Take today off. It's not. You're not going to build Rome in a day. But then I see this calendar, and it's like, even though I don't feel like it today, within a week, we'll give you another burst of energy that'll get you going. And then, you know what I mean? And then, fucking on the 24th, here comes another one. And that's what it is. When it comes to matters of the heart or creative endeavors, it encourages us to take a realistic approach towards relationships. Or, and I don't think there's an or, I wear both in my aura. Artistic pursuits by assessing their long-term potential. Right? So that's a shift in it. This conjunction invites us to elevate our commitments carefully while also fostering growth through patience and dedication. The new moon in Taurus on April 27th signifies new beginnings, stability, and grounding. Taurus is an earth sign known for its practicality, determination, and appreciation for beauty. During this time, we are encouraged to set intentions related to abundance, financial stability, self-growth, and sensual pleasure. Lovely. We're going to get a summer boo. It is a wonderful opportunity to focus on cultivating a sense of security and harmony in our lives. To celebrate this moon, engage in activities that align with this energy. So what it means is, new beginnings, like every fucking new moon, But every new moon teaches you how to focus on a different area, and they're saying this is the time to focus on your, right there, financial stability, abundance, you know, cultivating a sense of security and harmony. It's like planting full new seeds in the 3Ds. I heard seeds in the 3Ds. Okay. Let's see. Indulge your senses with comforting foods and luxurious self-care rituals. Dude, I'm excited about going up to these baths. Again, I still can't get my bath water hot enough. So I am so excited to go bathe in the fucking healing waters of the mountains like the ancients did and put my energy back into the earth and be reborn from it. This is so exciting to do under the full moon. It's like, what will you come out as? I don't know, a beautiful butterfly. Leave me alone. This is an opportunity to reflect on your values and set clear intentions for what you wish to manifest during this lunar cycle. New moons are all about that, but I must point out, this is how it's going to work, right? It's going to build up to a beautiful full moon on Saturday. But as the moon sheds, we'll start letting go again. To where by, where's this new moon? The 27th? Yeah. By the 27th, you'll be empty again. Where you're like, where am I supposed to go from here? And then on that new moon, the next day, you'll put all your intentions into it and start building it with the moon. You may not know what's going to happen, but I'll show you what happens. That's why I read this to you, so you can understand it. And that's like, I go by the moon cycle. My life is dictated by the moons and the planets and the stars. She asked me last night, is that important? It's very important. It's what we're made of. Yeah. The whole universe is inside of us. We need to learn how to work with it. Along with God and Jesus and everything else that's bursting inside of us. Learn to work with yourself. Anyways, during this period, encompassing both the new moon in Taurus and Venus-Saturn conjunction, we have an opportunity to work with these energies synchronistically. By aligning our intentions around abundance with practicality and commitment, we can lay a solid foundation for our desires to manifest. It is a time to reflect on our values, nurture our relationships, and pursue creative endeavors with dedication and long-term vision in mind. And that's what I mean is, by this time, we're going to be really grinding. I don't see nothing wrong. All right, thanks. Maybe we'll be bumping and grinding. With a little bump and grind. All right, whatever. Let's go on, Salamander. That's funny to me. I just relay what's going on. Number 23, Salamander. What does that say? Our burrows, creative work, infinite wisdom, alchemy. Oh, okay. Sure. What did I turn to? 22, which is drawing down the sun. Okay, but we're on 23. We're salamanders. All right. Ouroboros? What does that say? Ouroboros? Is that an English word? Is that an English word? Get it? English? Get it? Do you speak English? Not the right kinds. Not like Lewis. I don't speak Louis. Creative work, infinite wisdom, alchemy. Small lizard-like creatures. Oh, yeah, I know this whole story. With slim bodies and short tails in the tarot, salamanders are depicted within the suit of the wands. Other symbols of the fire and creativity, and each time they draw in a circular form as if attempting to reach their own. They're showing me something. Alright, I don't know the wheel. Come on, guys. Fine. They just broke a code. They showed me a code that I never saw before. Hold on. I need a map. Thank you. That was easy. You're like right there? Okay, yeah. Let me tell you how I got here. This is again, how did you get there? It's the mind, but it's not in my mind. I saw a vision and my mind put it together. You have to go through the mind. The mind has to make some sense of it before you can speak on what you saw. All right, listen to this. The suit of wands, so automatically I saw Aries. Another symbol of fire and creativity. Each time they are drawn in a circular form. All right, so I saw this. I saw Aries. And then I saw that Taurus comes next. Fire, Earth. What is Gemini? What is Gemini? It should say that right there. What are you, Gemini? You're an air and water. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Is it that simplistic? This is what I mean. How can you deny the truth? I don't know. How did you know that? I didn't. They showed me, bro. Who's they? The voices in my head. They're not in my head. It's in my heart. Alright. Look it, bro. Look at what just happened. Look at what just happened. I need a pointer. Use your fat finger. I was avoiding that. Okay, fine. You're like, who are you talking to? The Holy Spirit's talking to and through me. Alright, go through our fire. The spark is what they call it. The spark of life. Right? Okay, so it's ruled by Mars, which is the planet of fire. You know what I mean? The hot. But its negative is Venus. During the Aries season, what did we have? This. We had a negative Aries season because we had a Venus retrograde happen during that time. I fucked with our Aries season. Okay, now, check it out though. Look. We're going into Taurus. You saw this on your head? Yeah, bro, they showed me real quick. They showed me this. They said this, and all the answers are there, and they started to show me real quick all the answers. It's like, yeah, it's just, you have to see it, dude. Anyway, so now we go back into Venus, right? And Taurus is the earth. We start the fire here on earth. We have to blow the fire only to water it down and start all over. Is what they were really trying to show me, is that it goes through the elements. The signs are the elements. Aries is just the start, just the spark, but we have to ground it in an earth sign. Our air, okay, so what does that mean? Our fire is our willpower. We have to put our will into the reality. We have to use our mind with our emotions, only to go back and use our will in reality with our mind and our emotions. To use one more time, for we can do this. We get 3 times a year where we can harness it. As soon as the fire, but this is when the fire is out of control. By your third time's a charm, we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Get it right. Okay. So if we're following this calendar, but again, this isn't Vedic astrology, but if we're following this calendar, then that would mean Aries is the beginning of the new year. I try to show you that every one of them has a new cycle and how to catch all these cycles. Okay, we're starting a new cycle in this energy. Understanding the multi-dimensions. That's what I'm teaching you, is the multi-dimensions of all of these layers of reality that still exist on this current reality. Going back to it, I said something about Mercury retrograde. Why is that important? We have to understand what that planet, how that planet affects us as humans and what we use off of it and what happens when it's taken away. That planet represents a lot of our ability, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If it's taken away, we end up restless, changeable, nervous, tense, superficial, inconsistent, cunning, inquisitive, cynical, biting, moody, quick to anger, and fickle. Alright? Now, as much as you want to be like, ew, I don't want to fuck with a Gemini, you have Gemini in your chart. Where? In one of your 12 houses. We travel through the houses throughout the year. Aries is your sense of identity. I don't know what this really stands for. I don't know them that well. But that's what it is. It's like, the more we understand them, but I've just learned, you know what I mean? Certain ones, I'm not really proficient in all of them. I've had a lot of dealings with these Scorpios, myself, fucking Libras, and shit, but that's what I said is I didn't have a fucking Taurus, so I'm going to learn about the Taurus. Capricorn, you know what I mean? I associate them to who they are, you know what I mean? And what they are. But that's what they were trying to show me, and that fucked up my whole thing. But basically that's what it is we're going into our second house. This was all about our identity, right? But with Venus retrograde, it was how our identity is used in between in relationships. So now we're going into a Taurus season, right? Which, those aren't the best qualities. Just kidding, being an asshole. She said something. Wait a minute, hold on, what's Leo's sign? That little spermy wormy. You have a fair chance of dating a Leo. Why would it not be good? Tricky. Yeah, trying to fuck with a Sagittarius is probably tricky. Tricky. is fun to rock. What is this bullshit ass sign in Aries? Yeah, they're fucking bullshit. Yeah, don't fuck with the fire signs. Why? Because you get burned. Taurus is a fucking... I mean, seriously, you put the fire to the earth, it's gonna burn the earth. This isn't really hard to understand, bro. It really isn't. Like in air quality, you don't want to mess with people that are in their fucking feelings all the time when you're always logical and they're always fucking sentimental. It's not really hard to understand why you can't get along with people. Why you can't make a lasting relationship out of this, people. Alright, who do I have an excellent? Pisces and another... Fuck off. Oh no, that's a Leo. And that's what they try to say, but that's only based on their understanding. And how much do they really understand about each sign? I have an excellent chance of these guys. There's the sperm. And then, what is that? Who's fuck? Oh, Libra. I don't believe it. I don't work well with others. It says it's just Lilith. That's pretty much. Where's your black moon Lilith at? Yeah. That was a good one. Alright, let's go back to this. Had nothing to do with what we were reading. Or maybe everything to do with it. It wasn't where I was trying to go with this. I just saw to take you there and explain to you astrology, I guess. What did we just learn from that? A whole great deal. Okay. This image, in fact, is in reference to an ancient erotistic symbol of the Ouroboros, a sacred symbol of infinity, never ending, never dying. When wood was brought indoors and placed in fires, salamanders would appear from the flames, and it was for this reason folklore has associated the creatures with the element of fire. Despite them being water-based, perhaps also this gives the salamander the ability to be understood as a creature of dual balance. Salamanders have been recorded in multiple medieval texts on alchemy and magic, even appearing in notes by Aristotle and Leonardo da Vinci. I was supposed to read about Aristotle. Salamanders teach us to step into our power and show others what we are made of, to learn to adapt to changing environments and survive at all costs. Calling on their spirit when you need aid for facing adversity, comfort in changing, surrounding, to add energy to forgotten or neglected causes, or bridge passion with grounded reality. There's no task too big for the salamander to work on. Pure wisdom. Energy is a shifting course, and you are being guided to prepare for change and metamorphosis. This is no turning back or hiding away now. The spirit knows you are ready. Are there projects left unfinished? That's such a scary question. I don't feel like it. Come on. Like, you fucking liar. I mean, because I closed my eyes and I saw one thing. And I was like, no, there's no unfinished business. Yes, there is. What did I see? Fucking Bobby and his bullshit. You can't leave it on that note. Why not? It's a sad-ass note. Leave it alone. I'm fine with this. Leave it alone. Oh, my God. Jesus, help me. I pray to Jesus, too. He's not much help in the love department, I just must say. Teaches you how to give it, not fucking get it. Oh, no. Okay, what's going on now? Ground yourself. Changing environments. Calling their spirits, facing comfort, changing surroundings, forgotten or neglected, bridge passion, something. Oh yeah, we were way down here. Are you procrastinating over your next moves? Nudge yourself back to creative work and keep that fire burning alive. If the fire is beginning to flicker, the responsibility falls to you. When you finally own the wisdom of your creative aptitude, you will be able to teach others to ignite their flames as well. Well, that's me in general. Like, 1-800 general now. Like, this wasn't what... It is not what I saw happening. This is not how I saw this going. That would be a one-armed army, and I would be doing all this by myself, but, we're going to do this, and that's what we're going to do. In the sense of, we can get it done. And that's it. You hope, but you can't stay stagnant, dude. We got to keep it going. Alright, pure magic spell. This is a spell for transformation and change. Light 3 red candles and say, I ask for transformative power of the salamanders. Place a charcoal disc on a ceramic plate with one of the candles and say, I call upon the guardians of fire and change. Place some frankincense resin in the disc and watch the smoke curl around and cleanse your space. Say, I wish this smoke I transmute to evolve. I am ready, I am ready, I am ready. Concentrate on the flames and smoke. You may see visions and have messages come to you. Whispers of what to do next. It's very interesting because that's what I did yesterday. That's what I was burning there. What was I burning? And that's what brought up the guy. I said, what are you burning? He's like, well, it's white sage, frankincense, myrrh, some eyebright, and some lavender. I was like, yeah, herbs of Christ and a couple of others, you know, trying to do some banishment over here, stuff like that. And I just have to know what she was saying when we did this. She was speaking from her heart. Something about, we were having some real-ass conversations, and something to the effect of, I just want to be somebody's wife. At the time that I'm doing this ritual, what came out of her mouth, what she spoke into the universe, you know what I mean? And that's what I was speaking about later. It's very important to, you know, to know your words, but to let them come out and be heard. It was a funny conversation. I don't know where we started or how we got on it, but we were talking about it. It's like, that's what we said, is every woman's dream to just be somebody's wife. And I looked at the man, I said, isn't it your dream to have a wife and raise children, a wife to love and protect and have the children of your own? I can't remember what started the conversation, but I can remember that I got to that part with him, and we were already talking about our fantasies to be wives as we were doing this very ritualistic thing. She asked me too, what were the candles? I brought many candles, but I only lit the white candle, which is for purification. And that's where it was. And as far as staring into it, you know what I mean? That's it. We were all staring at the smoke as it was burning, and it just having we started a conversation about our dreams about, you know, happily ever afters and stuff, and that's what happened to be happening as we were doing this, you know, very ritualistic thing. And it's not like this, it's like what she said, what we said, but what happened. We didn't say what they said. We didn't do it how they did it, but this is what happened last night. I didn't light a red candle, I lit a white candle. On a charcoal disc in a ceramic plate, I had what I told you, frankincense and myrrh, white sage, eyebright, and lavender. So I added more than just frankincense. As the smoke curled and cleansed our space, we spoke about being married and having children. All of us in our grown age. He said I was only 2 years older than him. He had just turned 40, and she's younger. She hasn't said her age, but that's what we talked about at such an age. Our hopes that still lie within our old bodies, that we still hope for such great things. Consecrate the flame and smoke. You may have visions or have messages come to you, whispers of what to do next. What did I say? Let's pack it up and go get something to eat. That was it. Now we feed ourselves, and now you're done. And that's it, you know, celebrate. So, yeah, a little bit of magic, a little bit of fire, a little bit, and that's it too, is like we're in the fire signs. The wands is more than just that. We're in all signs of the fire. We're starting the ignition. Remix to ignition, baby. Okay, thanks, R. Kelly. But what are we going into? Earth, which is reality, which means you're going to be pulling cards of the Pinnacles. Cards of the Pinnacles. That means it doesn't necessarily have to be an earth sign. I'm picking up an earth sign. What are your earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Thanks. I didn't even know that was in there. I don't know everything. I do, but I don't know what I'm retaining. It's a retainer of all this bullshit. I just hold it all in there. I don't know what's really in there. I'm gonna go digging for shit. It comes out of me. So anyways, when we go into that, it doesn't necessarily mean you're dealing with a Taurus. It means that we're in fucking Taurus season. Congratulations, you're dealing with reality. Anytime we're in an earth sign, we're dealing with reality. Anytime we're in a fire sign, we're dealing with our fucking willpower. Anytime we're in an air sign, we're dealing with our fucking mind. Anytime we're in a water sign, we're dealing with our fucking emotions. Now, based on each sign, they have specific characteristics of our emotions that we're dealing with. Every time we go into Scorpio, it's like a fuck fest. It comes up all our sexuality and shit. Sexuality comes at the end of the fucking season, right around October, dude. October to November, it's a very sexual season. And then what keeps the fire burning and it gets out of control? Fuck Sagittarius, right around. Fuck around and find out. Happens, and then what? And then Capricorn comes to try to get you to ground down and be back into Earth. What? Do you know what I've just been through? New year, new you, bitch. Okay, I'm working on it. The old me that has came out. Just didn't point that out. Anyways, where are we at? Number 38. I went to the crown. Okay, that too. 38. Not 20. 38. Rooms. Here we go. Scrying. No, we don't need scrying. We need 38, not 28. Damn it. I'm in the wrong area. Forget it. I can't focus, obviously. 38. Charms. Enchantments. It's a time to break the spell of glamorous effects as you awaken from the enchantment sleep, which is guidance. Mesmerism is the witch's magical weapon of power and influence, for a witch uses her feminine wiles to seduce and manipulate to get her way, as she casts illusionary spells of enchantment while placing powerful charms upon her enemies and those she desires to influence and control them. For this, from a distance, she has the ability to point her witchy finger to reward, punish, or control another with the blessing, curse, or glamour trick. However, don't be caught up in the illusion, for looks can be deceiving. I gotta tell you, dude, my new friend is the baddest bitch you ever saw, bro. I mean, I knew she was a bad bitch the first time I saw her. I was like, dude, you were literally the baddest bitch ever. And then, so, I was like, when I was telling her, I was like, dude, I'm not going to put on a face or anything to even show up and see you. I was like, I'm going to show up like I am. And I showed up, and she's like literally the baddest bitch. I used to dress like that. I used to be just like that. Gotta be the baddest bitch in the room. She shows up as the baddest bitch, and it's just like, that is so cool, dude. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, I don't got it in me no more. And I told her, I was trying to explain to her, I was like, I'm in a place of humility. How does it look that I'm looking like the baddest bitch at a homeless shelter, bro? I tried my hardest not to dress up and not to stand out, but even that, they know I don't look like regular homeless people. I don't try to make them feel like I'm better than them, and I definitely don't try to stand out. I'm always dumbing myself down for the comforts of others. And she said to me, though, it was really nice. She's like, I just want you to know you look beautiful without makeup. I was like, that's very kind of you to say. It's like, no, I'm one of those ones that, I look really great with makeup. I've seen girls that look real weird with it. It's like, but I just don't do it all the time. And I have lots of different reasons. And I don't like the attention. So I did it the other day. I put on makeup and I had my titties hanging out, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the attention. It was fake. It was false. It was uncomfortable. But I used to be able to I did that just so I wouldn't have negative attention. I didn't feed off of the positive. It made me feel positive. I was very unaware. You can hear my story and say I wasn't really... To think that I cared about you and your feelings, that's impossible. It's impossible. That's the Christness in me, is where I became empathetic. I didn't feel for myself. Why would you think I felt for you? Why I cared about you? In essence, that's not true. I cared about everybody else but myself. But still, going back to this. As far as, looks can be deceiving. She's like, and that's what I told my daughter. I told my daughter this. I was like, when I met you, I was like, I told her, I was like, dude, you looked like the baddest bitch. You reminded me of all of me. And I was like trying to explain to her, but I was like, but that's not what I got off of you. And then when you called, I had you on speakerphone and she heard your voice. And I was like, you see, you would never expect it, dude. You would never expect that she is literally such a fucking divine sweetheart, dude. She looks like the baddest bitch, bro. She came out looking like the baddest bitch, bro. And like, she didn't get ready to meet me. She looked like that all fucking day. She was all around the world looking like that all day, dude. I just ran into that badass bitch. And I loved it. And it was cool. And I didn't feel less of me. I felt more protective of her because I understand that it's calling. You know what I mean? And they are very intimidated. They don't want to look at her the wrong way. They don't want to offend her. They don't want to approach her. And yet someone came up and told her how beautiful she was. And she just was so, how did he even? It was like, if you would have closed the door, he wouldn't have never saw you. It's like, yeah, they're scared, but sometimes they're not so scared. And they came back later, what y'all doing? It's like, those are the type of people you want to hang out with, that are brave. Oh, you gonna come talk to a bad bitch? Come here. Let's talk some shit. What you doing? And that's where you end up dating 25-year-olds and shit, because they're the only ones brave enough to talk to you. Anyways, going back to it, she's a badass bitch. You could never. And that's what's funny. It's like, let her heal her heart, and then you're fucked. That's what's so funny. It's like, let us heal our heart, and then you're real fucked. Everything is not what it seems when it comes to working with the glamour of charms and enchantment. Curiosity reveals only what you wish to see, and confusion may hinder you from seeing what is true. Instead, be aware of bewitching effects. It is well known that when a charm is placed upon an unsuspecting other, their behavior and feelings can be manipulated. So be mindful when you or others act out of character. Remember that whatever you wish to bring magically about, communicating your intentions is key. Recite incantations and simple rhymes to accompany some witchy actions, or make a talisman in a binding spell to stop another from doing harm, to ward, liberate, banish, and bring about your desire for love for another. I can take you back to my other book from Protection and Reversal Magic book from Jason Miller. It's not a one and done. I have to do rituals all day long. All day long. I have to clean my energy. All day long. Everything has an energy or a spirit, and none of it is of you. And when it gets on you, you don't feel like you. So all day you have to find ways to get. You're not trying to. It's almost like, as therapists would say, let me give you a pill, and a happy pill, and you'll feel good all day. It's not that. It's that you just want to feel yourself. You don't want to walk into a room and start feeling awkward and you can't be yourself. You become uncomfortable in your own skin. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? When you feel uncomfortable in your skin. You know what I mean? I want to be able to, if I burp, I don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to feel uncomfortable in your skin, is the point of this, right? And so, when you are comfortable, all of a sudden you're chilling, and then you're not chilling. One of a couple things have happened. Your mind has taken you to a place where now you're no longer comfortable. Or an energy outside of you, a situation has come over you that you're no longer comfortable. You have to understand your comfortability and what it is that's making you uncomfortable, because sometimes it's literally just a trigger. You were just sitting there and you smelt something that made you very uncomfortable and you started acting out. What was that smell? The smell of your breath? No, just kidding. It could have been the smell of a childhood trauma that has been activated, and now you need to overcome it. And that way, when you smell such things, you don't have such bad reactions. There's that. But then there is, spiritual and psychic attacks, where somebody's literally just sitting there thinking harmful, terrible things about you all the time. They're looking at your picture and just hating you, bro. That's how witches do it. They'll burn some herbs. They'll do some sacramental, stuff like that with your picture. And they put their thoughts on you. Their evil thoughts of what they want to happen to you. What is a curse? That. They're putting their thoughts into an idea using the elements that align with these kind of thoughts, that can push these kind of thoughts onto someone. And they're praying through their mind for you to have this happen in your life. When this energy gets to you, did you hear me say if? I said when you get wind of this, meaning it could be something as on the 3D level as gossip, and you heard they were talking shit about you. Or all of a sudden you get this real fucked up feeling that everybody hates you and they want you to die and your life has no meaning and your boyfriend doesn't love you, and you're never gonna get out of this apartment, and all of a sudden this huge wave of negative thoughts comes over you, bro. You were fine until all of a sudden something came over you and made you want to die, made you think gloom of every part of your life. That is not the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul takes you to a specific plain moment that actually happened in your life that hurts, and you have to sit in it to get out. But when a wave of absolute horrifying depression comes over you, where you just really like, you feel like you can't make it, that's what we would call a psychic or a magical attack. The only thing that makes it magical is they added some elements to it. A psychic attack can be easily just as much, bro. You know what I mean? Hateful thoughts. Hateful thoughts, bro. That's what it is. How do I manifest? Through my thoughts. Everything comes through, you know what I mean, my thoughts. Where I put my mind is where my visions and all of that. You saw that? It's alchemy. It's all in your brain. Everything. You have to control it, and, you know, it's a horse. You ride this bitch. So anyways, going back to it is, they're talking about, you know, if you've been cursed and stuff. How do you recognize it? It's in your feeling. You were feeling okay, and now you're feeling not okay. What do you do to get back to you? Or do you sit in this unhappy feeling until it eats you alive and you start doing chaotic things? It can happen. Nobody cursed the kids at Columbine. They woke up one day and their thoughts got the best of them. They couldn't control those thoughts. To deny that they didn't have those, that every bullied kid didn't have those thoughts before them is just inhumane. I wish they'd die for what they've done to me. They totally embarrassed me, and it's all their fault. I want justice. They suck. They wanted childish revenge and justice. A life for a life, depending on how they were raised. Going back to it, what happened to these kids, bro? They walked into it one day, and they couldn't control themselves. To deny that they didn't always feel like that they wanted to kill these kids for what these kids had done is a lie. Have you ever been bullied? You just want them to die, bro. Just go away. I wish I'd never see you again. I wish something bad happens in your life for what you've done to me. Bro, we're human. We're very human, and that comes from our human instincts of feelings. And we're supposed to be deemed as terrible humans for feeling a sense of righteousness and justice. But what's the difference when you drag them to the jail and you want the death penalty upon their lives? You want them ripped from their children. You want everything. You want poverty for their families and all of this because, you know, they robbed your car or something. You want to rob their whole life for what the little bit they took from you. An eye for an eye, right? So in essence, whoever's sending this at you, jealousy, why? Because you have something that they feel is theirs. And if they could get rid of you, then they can have what they think is theirs. So they wish bad things about you. For what you've done or for how you're standing in their way. They just wish bad things about you. And these bad thoughts get carried through, you know, reality. And you'll sit there somewhere feeling bad. And Mr. Plum had witnessed one of them. I have him in my videos somewhere, where God let one in, a real fierce one, when I was trying my hardest. It was the last break of poverty, trying to break the poverty conscious, and they send the biggest wave of fucking fear of poverty. And I go into absolute panic about being broke, and I don't have no money, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for things, and I don't know how and everything, and I just start crying. Right in front of him, I completely snap. I'm standing right in front of him. He pays the bill, everything's okay, and I completely drop to the floor, dude, in absolute fear and terror of what I don't have. That's a mindset. They attacked the mindset that lived within me. God allowed it, and he made it very clear that he allowed it. And that's why we have to clear out what it feeds off of. When we go outside and we see things like, you know, homeless people. When you're just driving through your car and you look over and you see a real grungy, scary homeless person screaming and, you know what I mean, walking up down the street. How does that make you feel? You felt fine until you saw this person, and now you're filled with a certain type of energy. I'm not going to tell you how to feel and how you should feel when you see this person, but I am going to acknowledge that it's safe for you to feel fear. Okay? So you feel this. Now how do you get this sense of fear off of you after seeing that person? And that's what I mean, is the outside world can have an effect on your inside world quite bad. And it can feed off of it. So if I have an attitude, anything can feed that attitude. If I'm feeling sad, then everything can make me sad. If I'm happy, I can be happy about everything. And that's how we navigate through our feelings and know, you know what I mean, where to go with them, how to, you know, share them and support them and this and that. This is all back to being cursed. How to identify you're being cursed or hexed. Or, you know, people tell me that all the time. As soon as I tell them I'm a witch, they expect that I should know that they were cursed or how to get it off of them. But why would God send you to me? Yes, okay, first off, to cleanse you. Yes, maybe if you were before you walked up to me, fine. I'm not sensing anything off of you. I sense a good-hearted person that has no faith, that's lost their faith and needs some, you know, some guidance. I don't sense anything like that. Are people out to get you as much as me? Are they sending bad vibes as much as me? Probably not as much as me. Are they really doing work on you like they are me? I don't think so. But just to be safe, let me show you how I protect myself. How? Sage. A lot. There's lots of different ways. When you don't feel well, go take a shower. When you don't feel like yourself, you turn on some music. You have to control, you have to redirect your energy into I can't say a good place, but a sacred place where you're okay, where you feel safe again. Because what you don't feel is safe. All feelings overwhelm you, and you've lost your place of safety where you are calm. Calm is safe. So something comes over at you. I'm fucking fine, but the second I step out that door, I have to put on a different skin when I go around other people. I have to put my skin on. I have to put my guards up. I have to put my armor on. And now everything about them rubs me the wrong way. But when I come back in, I gotta take all that skin off. You know what I mean? How do I get it off of me? You know, if I was in traffic and somebody just fucking cut me off, how do I get this off of me? Am I gonna hold this in and act like that didn't piss me off? How do I deal with my anger? How do I deal with my sadness? How do I deal with my stress? How do you deal with, whether it is psychic or magical attacks, what they're attacking is your feelings and your thoughts. How do you deal with your feelings and your thoughts? Where's your zen? And it's not one and done. You have to find ways to ground yourself all day long, to bring yourself back to a 0 point. All day they're pushing you, pushing you, pushing you. How do you come back to 0 so you could take a little bit more? How do you come back to 0 so you could take some more? You gotta keep coming back. So, going back to it, people wear a cross, a crucifix to protect their outside world, but what about what's inside? If you don't believe in the fact that that cross is keeping everything outside of you protected, but what you don't understand is our biggest enemy is our thoughts. Yes, nothing's gonna come running at you with that cross. You'll never see a demon with that cross on you. But what about the demon thoughts you have about yourself and others, where you lack such faith and such love for yourself and others? That's what Jesus talked about. The enemy is how we think and treat others. Nobody's gonna come rape you with your cross, possibly. But I promise you, a cross doesn't stop a rapist or a murderer, a drug dealer, any of those. Mine? I don't know. You put all mine together, and then when I put my black cross on, which is actually hanging from there, they might not want to rape me. They might not want to rape me. But then I put on my makeup and my high heels. That came to me too. Somebody lost a hoop earring in the parking lot, and I remembered I used to wear hoops. All kinds of hoops, all different colors. I had hoop earrings. And then I heard that saying, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. I was like, that's hilarious. I used to have all kinds of hoop earrings. I remembered something. that I didn't remember before. Isn't it great to have your memories back? In the sense of, that's not the best memory. I mean, I remember wearing earrings, a certain type of earrings for most of my life. Do you wear them anymore? No, I don't wear any earrings at all. Isn't that weird? I don't know. Going back to it, charms and stuff. I'm just saying, unsuspecting others, their behavior and feelings that can be manipulated. So be mindful when others act out of character. What is this? Over the centuries, muggles. Remember that whatever you wish to bring magically about, communicating your intentions is key. Reciting incantations, simple rhymes, accompanying some witchy action, and making talismans to bind spells to stop another from doing harm, ward, liberate, banish, or bring about your desires for love for another. All right, so you speak your prayers. Like if you wanted someone to fall, as soon as I said that, you tell God, I really want this person, God, and you have the conversation with God. Did God say, yes, this is a good girl for you? All right, then wait until he tells you how to move with that girl. Over the centuries, and that's it. It's like they're prayers. A spell is a prayer. An incantation is an affirmation to the universe that this is what I want in this world. You put your thoughts into your prayers. Your thoughts are your prayers. Your silent prayers is what they call that. Over the centuries, muggles have sought out our witches for our dark secrets and alluring abilities to change an outcome. So we weave a little charm magic ourselves, allow us to open our eyes with an ancient ointment that works a charm and revealing all matters of disguises and gives you charmed access to enchanting magical realms. Before I read this, there's specific herbs that you can work with that you can access, before I even open it, I've got to close. I'm sure it's going to say mugwort. Mugwort is you have to be very careful. Keep the windows open. It's not good for children or animals. Don't use it if you're pregnant or pretending, what do they say? Or thinking about becoming pregnant. I'm sure that's what it says. But anyways, there's lots of this stuff that you can do. Let's see. Light side unveiled. Your personal charm and inner power are magical at this time, are magnetic at this time and are required with focus and project into your charms for effort, spells, and magic. An enchanting encounter leaves you both captivated. Prepare to dazzle. Shadow side unveiled. You've been under a spell of a person whose charm has caused you to believe in different ways than usual. It's time to break the illusion and walk away from the manipulation. And that's what it means. It's like, it could have been a spell. All I do is teach you, I can teach you some magic, but we heal the problem. We go to the root of the problem where all this shit manifests in your mind. If you don't believe it, it doesn't have no power. Incantation to charms. Manipulation, blessing, curse, glamour, trick, or something worse. Bewitching spells that work a charm, enchanting words to heal or harm. Charm magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. Charms are carriers of energy and power that can be used in spells or placed in objects for magical effects. To raise energy so you can place within them the power of intent, follow this ritual. Okay, so that's what I mean is all these objects have their own power, and I work with the power of what they have. So last night, I told you what herbs I brought, and then I just put it back under there. I brought my graveyard dirt, my holy water. I have to replace one of my, I had two vials of specific, I guess I should probably bring them out and show you what they are now that they're all open. I have two very specific vials of crystals in here, and one of them broke. She's like, is that bad? I was like, to some people, but I know that the breaking is the releasing of something new. Every time I break something, I know that it's... Huh? That happened to me. That's why I had to make a new one. This was hanging. I had the same exact necklace, dude. This was hanging from my rearview mirror, and this guy got in my car with his whole family. It's in my videos, and the thing broke. All of them broke while he was getting in the car. As soon as I snapped right at DIA. I think so. I wasn't scared. Some people would be. So anyways, I had two of these. The other one broke. And what was interesting is this one, the one that broke, was sealed with a an Apache tear. I'm going to try to get them all out of there, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them now that I get them out. No, the tear's still there. But it broke all of these. And like this one, dude, holy shit, you can't even know what it is. I'm not supposed to tell you because they weren't supposed to have them, bro. They weren't supposed to have them. They had all of these gems and stuff that came from a place that they weren't supposed to have. And we broke into them. The parents were out one night. It's a true story. It's in my videos. The parents were out one night. And I started telling the oldest kid about stones and how they work magically. And he pulls out these boxes. They have boxes and boxes of stones. Can't tell you where they got them from, but it was an uncle, not them. And then they have the ones that they mine themselves. And they're not supposed to have these. And I said, all right, can I take a piece of these? So I start chopping. All of us kids are in the room, and we're breaking up these stones. And I'm taking pieces of very important, very sacred stones with me. They're all there in little pieces. I only took a little piece of most of them. This is from China. This is an Apache tear. I can't even tell you, but I know this pink one that shattered twice, it's not really just pink. It's not what you think. Anyway, so I have these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them now. No, I got a handful of stones. I have these. That's what I said. You're like, you're such a crazy bitch. When you see this, you will say so. I was like, don't worry about it. I have a bunch of those little bottles in home. And I do. You want to see? I have a bunch of these little bottles and shit. I collect stuff. I'm like that guy from Harry Potter. I have a bunch of these little bottles. All different sizes, too. I take all kinds of shit. I like the little ones with the lids. Let me see. There's like I don't know. I gotta put all these somewhere. But anyways, I took certain stuff out there to do this ritual. It's like, dang, I don't want to lose any of them. Because it was a thing. The parents, did they know? No, they just said that they were showing me to them. They never touched them. They were hidden in their garage. But that's what I did. I took them all with. I took a piece of what I was guided to take of each one. Is this one going to fit in there? Yep. Anyway, so going back to it, everything has energy, and you work with the energy knowing what it is. So me as a witch, and I should know what everything I work with is. I don't. I'm guided. They're like, grab this, that, and the other. And then I grabbed, and then I find out later what I grabbed and what I was working with. I was like, yeah, how'd you know? I didn't know. I went with my intuition, which is my gut feeling. And my gut never leads me wrong, which would be... Well, I'm still trying to put all these together. It really looks like just some shit at the bottom of a, fishbowl, right? But it's not. Like, you're a creepo. Probably could take all this out and put it all together, huh? See? 2 makes 1. Let's see what's in that one. I don't know. So, there's tons of them. I'm telling you, for real. And we took them all together, and we put them all in there. There's all kinds of them. That one's cool. That one's cool. I'm dropping them too. Alright, let's go on with the magic and charms and shit. And that's what a witch does. Hold on, let me get all these out. Oh, come on. That one's not... Okay, I did. What are you going to do with that bottle? I don't know. Put some more shit in there. Like, you have all this shit? Yeah, bro, I'm a whole witch, bitch. You want to come do a ceremony? You want to come do a ceremony with me? I think it's all going to fit. What do you think, God? I think so.
What's going to fit?
I had carried 2 little bottles, and now I was able to put it into one. And now we combined, you know what I mean? And that's it, too. Do you know how much power is in that? They were separate, now they're together. I think there's probably more. That's what she said. I need all of these. It's like, can I touch your crystals? I don't think you should. I don't think that's safe for you. If you don't know, I don't know what that power is going to do to your body, your small little mind, and what it's going to activate inside of you. Especially those ones right in front of you. Those are used for shadow work. They bring out your dark sides that need to be healed. See? And just like that. Isn't that cool? And now I have a new one for something else. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, I carry that. That's in one bag. So I have my holy water, my graveyard dirt. I had my resurrection oil, but I put it in my other oils, and I still haven't brought all that up. I have a billion oils. But I didn't need the oils because I had frankincense and all of that. I had Jesus with me and all that. I had the Jesus oils. The Jesus juice. Shut up, Holy Spirit. Too funny. I don't really mess around with frankincense. I tell you that all the time. And that was the first time I knowingly burnt. No, that's not true. They said they have it in an incense, but they never burnt properly, so I never really experienced the smell of it. Oh, and then that other stuff. There was something else. There's a secret ingredient in there that I didn't tell you was in there. There's always some secret ingredient. I just can't remember. I'm keeping secrets. I don't think I am. No, I don't think I am. Alright, let's go back to this bullshit. Visualize you brightly colored ball of light in your hand. You can imagine a pink light if your charm is for love, or green if you want to strike someone down with envy. Don't do this. As you do, whatever you're thinking on people is going to come bust you in the ass. I'm not teaching you this. Let's stop there. It's all about visualization, where you put your imagination and shit like that. And that's what I tried to tell you. That's all they're doing is fucking having bad thoughts about you. They might be adding some shit to it, but they're really just fucking thinking terrible thoughts about you. And you can feel their terrible thoughts, and you have to realize these aren't my thoughts. I don't think like that. And that's the last video I uploaded. Louie, last time to talk to you too. I said that to him. I don't have a reason to leave Louie. If you don't keep up, then I guess you don't keep up. But Lewis, I gotta find a guidebook to this bullshit. I said that in this video. I start this video from like 2023, and I was like, hey, I just want to point out something. How come when I look at Lewis, I get insecure? I'm not insecure. I become insecure when I'm in his energy. That's not my energy. That's his energy. Same thing happened with Marshall. I'm not possessive. This isn't me. This isn't a characteristic of me. I'm too close to you, and now I'm picking up your energy, and I'm acting like it's mine. I'm not possessive. I'm not possessive. Okay, maybe I am. In the sense of I'm possessed by the Holy Spirit. That's funny. Come on. Thinking jokes all the time. I'm just trying to figure out a guidebook. Alright, let's talk about the shapeshifter in me. Number 6. Ooh, that was a good one. I'm ready to move on to lunch. I'm hungry. Dude. I'm hungry. I always say that in my videos, right? Because I fast until then. I don't usually have a meal before I see you. I've been doing all kinds of other shit. I'm not really a breakfast person, bro. I'm more of a brunch and nap kind of person, and a good dinner. Keywords: transformation, transition, change. That's what the last one did. Didn't we just burn the salamanders were all about this? At the heart of Morgan's nature, she is a shapeshifter. She is 3 sister goddesses, a raven, a snarling wolf, and a twisted eel, and many more things. She wears whatever form best suits the situation at hand. Yet she is all these things at once. And that's it. It's like interchangeable. As much as I can sit down, you know what I mean, on Colfax and have a conversation with the street people and not, you know what I mean, not be too good for them, I can easily go up to, you know what I mean, in front of President fucking Trump or in any fucking government official office and hold a conversation as well. It's not based on my attire, but I do understand you're going to judge me on that. But in the sense of I can be wherever I need to be, whatever I need to be, wherever I am, but still be me. Here, the Morgan shifts and changes, fluid and harmonious in all her many forms. In her human form, she appears central to energy of transformation swirling around her. She looks at us with her face above her emblazed red shield. A knowing smile on her face. Upon her forehead is the triskele, signifying movement. Triskele? That's what that's called? Thank you. I knew that's why it was important to me. I just knew it. I just was like, again, another thing about mirror magic. What's in there? Mirrors. I don't play around. What do you think's going to happen when I open that mirror? Whoa, I'm going to charge it under the full moon, and then we'll see. Full moon in Aries. Here the moon shifts and whatever. Upon her forehead is a triskele. Okay, how do you pronounce it though? Triskele? I don't know. I'm going to have to put it in Google. Signifying movement, motion, and the cycles of energy of all life. And Morgan exists as crow, woman, wolf, eel. She shifts between the realms of land, sea, sky. Her energies are simultaneously one and all. She is prepared to shift and change as the situation demands, alert and in harmony with her many different selves, looking towards what is to come. On her spear of the Orgam Sterif, what is that? Okay, I see it. Signifying transformation. Storef, I don't know, means sulfur, which was used in the process of dyeing clothes, making something dull transfer into bright color. Storef is also connected to secret knowledge and occult wisdom, and can aid in matters of change if necessary. Divinator meaning. As the shapeshifter, Morgan reminds us that we must not remain stagnant. It is time to change, to shed our old skins and transform into our new selves. It is time to become who we are meant to be. The process is ongoing, never truly over. I told you that all week, especially over the weekend. When the shapeshifter is drawn, it is a signal of time of change, shifting circumstances, and transformation. That may be an inner transformation, or it may be the world around you. They're really encouraging me because, yeah, I'm about to... That's what it is. It's like, I'm going to change this. I'm not going to be on YouTube like this. I'm going to have to make changes. I will be inclined to get on YouTube and tell you what I just got. But no, I won't. The change is necessary, but may be a difficult one. The hawthorn thorns around her help represent... I'm seeing my hawthorn berries. Represent this change may be difficult and painful at times. It may be time to examine and honor the many pieces of yourself that exist within you. There's a spell for transformation. I don't teach you her spells. I think she's crazy. I don't think you should... I just don't. I don't feel comfortable asking you to pull down a part of me that I don't work with. The way that she does it. Do you know what I mean? It's like a spell for transformation. Before this, she was trying to get you to, I just don't, bro. I'm not going to read her spells. If you want to practice her spells, you're welcome to, but I advise you not to. I'm just saying, I don't have a good feel about it. I don't have a reason other than how I feel. I don't feel like you should be practicing the spells out of this book. I'm just telling you that. She was just trying to help you on what works for her, but perhaps, you can look at many books of ways to express your transformation without doing her spell work. There's other ways. We don't have to practice her ways. And in the sense, the lady's a dark weirdo, bro. She's a weirdo. I don't give a shit. If you put that in your bio that you like to make art out of dead fucking bones, bones of live dead, or of real dead beings and shit, you're a fucking weirdo, bro. Everybody has a craft and shit, but, whatever. Do you, but when you put your mind and your spirit and 20 years of your time into a dark being, you're gonna come out dark and dingy, dude, and doing weird shit like that. I'm sure you think it's beautiful, but from out here, it's fucking creepy. I'm not here to judge you, but I'm just saying is like, I don't want you to become like a person like this. And that's what it is. Going back to the people that worship Lilith, they're scary motherfuckers. People that pray to Isis, that pray to fucking Medusa, Hecate, Kali Ma. Well, not the whole Indians, but those that went to them for all the wrong things. You're gonna get what you fucking came for, bro, but it's gonna get you. And especially if you were fucking taking powers off of, to manipulate others, because I'm back. I'm taking the power that you used, that you used of your understanding of the spirit against people, not just of the goddess, but of God, of Christ, of all spirits, bro. The oppression that you used against them. You know what I mean? Many people use some fucking, they use some love spells and shit on you and shit. That's possible, bro. They can feed you some great ideas and, tell you some things that are going to get you excited, and then they can dress it up just how they know you like it. It's just manipulation, bro. It's not how you truly feel in your heart. You're falling for it. Magic is just, manipulation. How am I magical? I'm not. God's magical. I work with him. He's the magic, bro. I just know how to make it, I just do what he says to do to make it happen. I don't make shit happen, and that's what pisses everybody off, that everything I do happens, but I'm not even trying. I'm not. Just doing what I'm told. I don't have to create a love spell. Everybody loves me. When you don't fucking when you don't lack, then you don't need. And you don't fucking go to such, weak places to manipulate people to get what you want out of life. That's all that is, bro. And that goes back to Moonlight Guidance. I saw it pop up again. She's like over 1,000 5-star reviews about my, banishing and, I looked it up one time. The bitch costs, she's in Europe, she charges over $400 to do, to do some kind of ritual to clean your energy, only to send you an email and tell you it's done. And now you believe that you're all better and you're grateful for this. She manipulated your belief system, bro. You believed if you gave this money, this would happen. And she told you it's done. And you believed it, so it worked. If you put that much belief in Jesus, it would have been done for nothing. And that goes back to your cross. You believe that your cross protects you, but then you see something like me, and you believe that God is not there to protect you from me, or from what? A rapist? I don't know what you guys are afraid of. You're afraid of getting shot. By who? Who's got a gun? Jamie's gun. Oh, well, if you're raping your daughter, then maybe she should shoot you. Maybe you should stop doing that. If that's what I got from that song. I don't know, bro. Going back to witchcraft and shit like that. Yeah, that's why they don't like me. Because I'm more powerful from them, and I expose them, and I take away all their power, their ability to work on people, because people don't believe what they say, so therefore they can't there's no power. People have gone to practitioners before I got here, and they believe that they sold their soul. When I come back and tell them they didn't have the power to do it, and they start realizing, believing that their soul is still in their body, they'll start walking in it again. They have this weird belief that it's not there. And that they're not, that they're already damned, so they could do whatever they damn please. Hey, that's not true. That's not true. God loves you. You can't sell something that's not yours. Jesus already paid the price for that, motherfucker. He paid with his life. You can't, your coins ain't no better than fucking Judas. Judas, the soul lives within you. Quit believing people's bullshit. Come back to life. Go ask God for forgiveness. We got a lot of work to do, you fucking weirdo. You've been thinking some stupid shit for a long time. That's it. They made you believe that, lesbians don't go to heaven. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? They make you believe whatever they want. And your belief makes them powerful. I'm just teaching you to believe in God. But again, I'm not going to make you believe that this... I don't want even to get into whatever visualization she wants to feed you. That this particular side of me, the Morgan, which is an unified side... The shapeshifter is all parts. So why don't you just pray again? No, but it's a different entity within the entity of the entity of the entity. Bro, quit playing around with me. How can't you just, I'm dealing with a different part of her. It's still me. You're dealing with a different part of yourself, idiot. People don't get that. You're not dealing with a different part of the goddess. You're dealing with a different part of yourself. I'm all part of the goddess. Do you understand? But when you come to me, you are either acting and dealing with the Morgan from your own self-perspective, or you're dealing with, Bab from your own self-perspective. When you come to me from your own self-perspective, you're either dealing with Lilith, the Priestess, or Lisa. That's your own perspective, idiot. I'm all of those. And you can see it real quick when someone comes up and asks me my name and I have to give them my actual name and say Lisa. And you're like, oh yeah, she is just a person. I am. But I'm not any less than, Isis. I'm all of those things. You're not dealing with a part of me. You're acting with a part of me instead of seeing me as all of me. Going to this, it's like people pray to the Lilith, the Isis, the Hecate, parts of me. But that now I'm here to show you that all of this is me. You can't choose which part of me to honor. You must honor all parts of me. Same with God. They are all parts of God. You don't get to choose which part to honor and which is your favorite. You honor all God and Goddess alike. Am I being a different part of me because I'm acting in my Medusa? Or am I being me? Now let me ask you, Are you being something different because you're acting like Medusa? Question of the day. Are you being different because you're not being Christ-like? Or being Christ-like is different for you? But is it? Because is it something outside of you? Or is it something that you're doing inside of you? What makes you Christ-like? Is it something you do outside of you, or is it just a way of life that projects from inside of you? I'm seeing that man right before we came here. I'm going to end on this note. God tells me to give back the car. I don't have no money. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just sitting still. You know, I'm waiting on my taxes, and I'm really out of everything. I'm just sitting there grateful outside of my car. It's the morning. This man walks by, and he says, we had a little conversation. He said, are you all right? I said, I'm all right. And he's like, well, can I give you some money? It's like, it can't hurt. Was he doing Christ's work, or was he being Christ-like by even approaching me? Now, last night, you know what I mean? Giving that guy a cigarette. Was I doing Christ's work, or was I being Christ-like? Not only giving what he asked for, he asked me for a cigarette, but giving him my time and energy. Was I being Lisa, or Lilith, or the Priestess? Was I separate? Did something else take over me? Or am I just this person? And all parts of me are available at different times. That I don't switch, but that you switch to what's available to you. If you come to approach me and you think that you have this perception that this is who I am, you're going to talk to me in that version of I am. If you always see me as Lilith, then you're always going to approach me. You're not going to ever approach me. If you always see me as the High Priestess Phoenix, then you're always going to respect me, but still probably won't approach me. If you always see me as Lisa, then you'll approach me and not respect me. But am I not all those things inside of this body? It depends on, No, never. No, never. You can never use my headphones. I'll get you your own. But no, that's what happens to my headphones. I let you guys use them. I've never broken my own headphones, not once, ever. Ever. Never, ever. You guys break my headphones. And that's it. I had to say no. I always say yes, but not to this. No. There has to be one thing that's a no. Going back to it, it's like, I'm seeing Marshall. Here's another example. You judge him, and you approach him based on your judgment, and based on how you approach him, that's what you get. Perhaps I never approached him as Eminem, and that's why I never got Eminem. I never treated him like Eminem. Not never. Or Slim Shady. Ever. I spoke to him. I called him by his first name. I called him Mars Bars. I like that. I spoke to him in a different way. I approached him in a way that others didn't. You know what I mean? In a very comfortable, familiar way, confident, maybe overconfident. And then I look back, it's like, dude, you were talking to Eminem. Not in my head. In my head, I was just talking to another man that's, that can help me. I wasn't talking to a superstar or celebrity or anything like that. When you see them in such a way, you make yourself act a certain way about these people. Right? So going back to this whole thing of perception and shit, it's like, this woman sees the shapeshifter as, as a part of me that she wants you to pray to so that it can give you power. Well, there's plenty of that around here. What part of me? Go pray to Kanyen. You need more Kanyen than you need my dark side. But that's it. As some people are too light and they needed some darkness, going back to anger management. He was a pussy. Peter Parker's a pussy. He needed that venom to fucking, to have a spine. Some people really do need the darkness in their life to empower them so that they can stand up for themselves, so that they can be brave and go into battle, where they can face their family and face their friends and face their jobs. There's a lot of people that get bullied and don't have backbone. And that's where this side was, delivered. That's what the dark goddess was delivered, is to be that, you know what I mean, that dark nurturer, to empower you to walk in your, you know what I mean, in your shadows, but, you know what I mean, your empowerment, which is to raise your voice when you need to be scary if you need to stand tall when you need to not just be an Eve. When you go back to that, that's what you're praying to them for, is, self-empowerment. You go to Kali, dude. You pray to Kali, bro. You want Kali to cut some heads, bro. Protect me, save me. We didn't go to Jesus for such things. We go to Jesus. We go to the archangels, though. We'll tell Michael to go cut somebody's head off. He's my protector, and he's that. And that's where it is. It's like, where do you create these relationships or identities for these people, or even God? What do you see God as? If you see God as untouchable and unworthy, then you'll never approach him. But he's not that. And that goes back to this, my bad bitch friend. Bro, you would never approach her. You would never approach her. And I talked to her, and that's what I told her. I was like, I think the day I saw you, I didn't even have makeup. My spirit literally rolled me out of bed to go fucking buy a bag, and you were nowhere near my house. I went on a 25-minute drive to end up meeting you and this to happen. But in the sense of, you would never approach her, just based on how the book looks. She's too pretty. She's got too much money. She's too much. She's all of these things. Bro, she's literally the baddest bitch I've seen in real life for a long time. You know what I mean? In the sense of, you have no idea how fucking kind she really is, and how sweet she is, and how soft-spoken she really is, because you won't speak to her. How generous and how beautiful she really is underneath all of that actual beauty. You can't really, you know what I mean, stop judging the appearance that they put on for you. And that's it. She can't tone it down. I can't be anything less than me. I can't wear less jewelry. I can't look less than me. I'm not gonna dumb myself down for you. I know. But you're asking a lot for people to step up to you when you know what I mean, you shine that bright. And that's where I see myself. No wonder I was so unapproachable. And yeah, I dumb myself down. But it's not a dumb place. It just means that I have to humble myself to make them feel more comfortable. And it works. And it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? And that's it. Because we were talking about it. It's like, she's like, well, I need some time to get ready. But we're going swimming. Meaning, in order for this to work, you have to put your head under the water, which would be an absolute disaster of all that makeup that is probably very expensive. This is facing a fear. Can I step out without being fully... you do what you got to do, but just keep in reality that, nobody's going to see us. We're going literally into the mountain, and there's separate, you literally pay for your own little cave, nobody else comes in there. But, yeah, and that was me too. I'm not going out without looking great. I gotta be my best when I go out there. But sometimes your best is too good for everybody else. It's kind of what I see. It's not. You shine bright. You don't make me feel no kind of way. But they're scared. And they put you and me together. Beauty and the Beast. Oh shit, this is dangerous. We're fucking dangerous together. And the last thing I need to do is match your energy and put on a dress and makeup. Nobody will ever talk to us now. I'm so serious. She's so pretty. You're like, I want to meet her. I bet you wouldn't talk to her. You won't even talk to me, loser. And she's so much nicer than me. But again, brave. Sure, let's go ghost hunting. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. That's great. I like it. Like attracts like. And I waited a long time. But Taz was great like that too. But Taz was, I don't know what happened to Taz. I think she went to prison. Fuck. Poor thing. I don't know. It was all in God's hands. That's it. You want to hope, fuck. I hope everything works out. But just going back to it, don't judge. Don't judge. And don't be praying to people that... Pray to God, bro. Stop it. I'm not going to tell you who to pray to. Going back to if you pray... Don't pray to the dark sides. Because you don't truly understand your dark sides. Start exploring your dark sides by yourself before you ask for them to come over you and take over your life. And then you wonder why your life is all fucked up. You asked for darkness. You got darkness. Darkness became you. What the fuck was you doing? You need to pray to the light. Jesus, give me compassion and strength and all that good stuff of the light that I don't be having. Hey, this is a loaded conversation. What did we get out of it? The new season. I didn't even get into Lisa Lister's Witch book. So we got disconnected. It's lunchtime. I'm gonna try to figure out how to label this bullshit, and you guys go on with your bad selves, and I will catch you later. Haters.